Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling, well, a really massive story from a few years back. This huge defense cooperation agreement between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. We're talking nearly $142 billion.
An absolutely staggering figure.
Yeah, described at the time as the largest defense cooperation agreement in Saudi history. It all came together during President Trump's visit to Riyadh.
That's right.
So beyond that headline number, our mission today is to unpack what a deal of this sheer scale really involved and maybe touch on its wider implications.
Exactly, because a number like $132 billion, it points to something incredibly comprehensive. This wasn't, a single purchase.
Right.
It involved more than a dozen big U.S. defense firms, and it covered several, critical areas.
Like what specifically?
Well, things like air and missile defense systems. Super important for protecting airspace, dealing with threats like, say, ballistic missiles.
Okay, so defensive capabilities, shoring up their ability to protect themselves.
Definitely a big part of it. But it seems it went further, didn't it? The sources mentioned Air Force tech and even space technology.
Space technology, that sounds advanced. What might that actually mean in this context?
It could cover quite a bit. Sophisticated aircraft, maybe next-gen fighters, support equipment. The space angle is interesting. Perhaps satellite imagery access, secure comms, things that seriously boost situational awareness.
Okay, so a real upgrade across the board.
And also maritime security, think naval vessels, coastal defense, plus upgrades to their military communication networks, better coordination, more secure comms.
It really sounds like a top-to-bottom enhancement of their defense posture.
It does. And, while the exact shopping list, the types and quantities of weapons, wasn't made public.
Which is pretty standard for these kinds of deals.
Right. But it's a safe bet that an agreement this large involves more than just hardware. You're likely looking at a mix of offensive and defensive systems.
Plus things like training, support.
Absolutely crucial. Extensive training programs for Saudi personnel, long-term maintenance contracts. This isn't just a sale. It's embedding a deep, ongoing partnership.
Which kind of leads us to the why, the strategic thinking behind it. The U.S. framed it as underlining an enduring strategic partnership, right?
That was the narrative, positioning Saudi Arabia as a vital partner for regional stability in the Middle East. That's been the long-standing view.
A crucial ally in a, let's face it, very complex region.
And this deal was presented as reinforcing that alliance, helping them manage regional challenges.
Sure, but deals this big, especially involving weapons, they rarely go uncommented on. There was debate, wasn't there?
Oh, definitely. It wasn't without controversy.
Yeah.
While supporters stress enhanced self-defense for Saudi Arabia against, shared threats.
Others raise flags.
Yes. Critics voiced concerns. Things like the potential impact on the regional power balance, such a massive influx of arms, inevitably shifts things. And there were significant humanitarian concerns raised, too, especially regarding the conflict in Yemen at the time.
So different viewpoints, which is important to acknowledge. We're just reporting what was being discussed.
Exactly. It highlights the complexities.
Looking forward, then, a commitment of this magnitude, $142 billion, it has to have pretty long-term consequences.
Without a doubt. This signals a really deep, ongoing military cooperation. It has significant geopolitical weight for the whole Middle East.
And implementing it isn't instant.
Not at all. It's a multi-year process. Think about the logistics, joint exercises, maybe shared maintenance facilities, potentially deeper intelligence cooperation. It shapes the security landscape for years, potentially decades.
So, summing up, this huge $142 billion U.S.-Saudi deal wasn't just a transaction. It represents a really deep, complex defense relationship.
With major implications for security in the region.
And it generated both strong backing and significant criticism reflecting those complex interests.
It really underscores that enduring, though sometimes debated, strategic alignment. And its sheer size guarantees it will keep influencing the region's security dynamics.
So as this unfolds over the years and these things take time, here's something for you, our listener, to think about. Given the sheer scale and all the different facets we've touched on, what's the single most critical factor to watch as this agreement plays out? That's your thought for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.